जहाँ से मैंने पढ़ा है दैट इज एल्सवेयर आरईसी एनवायरनमेंट डे वहाँ मनाया गया, मुझे भी बुलाया गया था, तो मैंने एंड स्टूडेंट्स अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाह. Ministers highlighted the urgency of adopting sustainable and climate-resilient approach of development. And responsible citizens, we have a crucial role to play in addressing these central to climate mitigation and adaptation efforts. Sustainable infrastructure, renewable control system, green building practices, waste management innovation, ecological weather and natural resources is particularly sensitive to environment changes. The biodiversity and fragile mountain ecosystem requires initiatives. This is the first time I am using in my life, I remember, that I am reading from a paper. The reason is about the environmental concerns, and that we feel privileged as an association of engineers, that we as engineers, and I being the chairman and the president of Belgium joining us today. So basically, actually, I am myself vegans, subject experts, academicians, stakeholders, who will share with you as respected speaker, distributed participant, and guests. I hope that three generations with sustainable development. I, on behalf of the Institution of Engineers, again we have already welcomed Sir there because I took there, Sir, please.
Engineers have to use technology and innovations
and intensified extreme weather events. World Environment Day.
The air quality is as bad as Delhi sometimes. Your particulate matter is at bad. The moment you get rain, within 10 minutes your air quality is very pristine. Because we don't have industries yet. So, but it is also Kashmir was city-side. So I have tried to know, and very honest.
And feel it privilege and honor that you have joined us today on a very important day. World Environment Day serves as an important reminder of our collective responsibility towards protecting the environment and ensuring a sustainable future for generations to come. Across the globe, societies are facing unprecedented environmental challenges in the form of climate change, biodiversity loss, environmental degradation, pollution, depletion of natural resources, and increasing vulnerability to the natural disasters. These challenges transcend geographical boundaries and require coordinated global as well as local response. The theme chosen for the year's observance is both timely and relevant. Climate change is no longer a distant concern. It is reality that is affecting our communities, economies, ecosystem, and livelihoods across the world. And also, our region is not being protected as the Jammu and Kashmir, and especially Kashmir.
United Nations Environment Program serves the largest platform for environmental outreach with the view of pursuing sustainable action towards the climate objectives, ocean conservation and ecology restoration and responsible consumption. World Environment Day 2026, a global call for climate action. The planet does not argue, it does not negotiate. It sends signals back to us what has happened. Rising seas, raging wildfires, heat waves, melting glaciers, United Nations Environment Program, global campaign calls on all of us to step in for climate. The World Environment Day has been formally observed in this Azerbaijan Baku as per its geographical location.
We have to care for our environment every day. And if you look at the themes of this year's World Environment Day, also very contemporary. New issues that have been identified to create awareness about environment, create awareness. Nature-based solutions, if you see, nowadays there's a lot of buzz about the nature-based solutions, not the engineering solutions, not the technology solutions. Circular economy, again, sustainability, recycling, climate resilience. Climate is something which is encompassing every aspect of human activity, every segment of environment. So I don't want to get into those details, but all of us know about. I have, I think, almost a dozen times I have been in this room and talked about environment, other issues, disasters, and other issues related to earth and environmental science. We all are aware about the environmental issues. I think this is also a fact that we really feel, all of us, very proud. And people also outside appreciated that you live in, this is a piece of paradise. अगर फिरदौस बरोए ज़मीन अस्त हमी अस्तो हमी अस्तो, and it is. Maybe the people who live in cities like Srinagar and other towns and all that, they will not agree because we have made that very bad places. But if you go outside, if you go to the woods, to the mountains, you will appreciate that God has bestowed us some of the most picturesque landscapes. There's no doubt that it still is like a paradise. But when we look at what God had bestowed on us, what nature had bestowed on us, and how we have dealt with that, all of you will agree, all of us will agree that we have not really taken care of our environment. It may be still better than many other places, but it's a cause of worry. The trend that's, some of the, I think, predecessors here speak about that. We get free oxygen from environment. I don't know how many of you know that how much oxygen you use every day. You can guess. Depending upon your age, depending upon your body, depending upon your activity, 550 to 750 liters free you get. And when those who are who have to buy this oxygen, you can imagine, no? So there are a lot of services, products that are given freely by this environment. But we are thankless. We are not taking care of. Whatever the human greed and all that is what I will be also focusing on. How do we re-establish that, connect with the environment? So, air quality. Sometimes the air quality is as bad as Calcutta, particularly in autumn and winter. The Pollution Control Board does not have to do anything with that.
वर्ल्ड एनवायरनमेंट डे मनाया जा रहा है जो 5 जून एवरी ईयर मनाया जाता है और इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इंजीनियर्स की यही एक लेगेसी रही है कि दिन मनाया जाता है बट बिकॉज ऑफ सम सर्कमस्टेंसेस शिफ्ट हुआ था 10 जून को तो आज यहाँ पे जो अभी कॉर्पोरेट मेंबर्स हैं इंजीनियर्स हैं सिविल सोसाइटी के हैं रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स हैं पॉलिसी मेकर्स हैं वो सारे एक जगह जमा हो रहे हैं और डिस्कशन और डिलिब्रेशन हो रही है कि जो ग्लोबल कॉल एक्शन जो आज थीम है कि अब इमीडिएटली हमें एक्ट करना है और इस एनवायरनमेंट को बचाना है और एनवायरनमेंट जब हम बचाएंगे हम अपने आप को बचा रहे हैं इसी पे आज यहाँ पे डिलिब्रेशन हुई यहाँ पे आज डिस्कशन होगी और यहाँ जो हमारे चीफ गेस्ट थे वो बड़े एनवायरनमेंटलिस्ट और एक्सपर्ट हैं जो वाइस चांसलर ऑफ IUST हैं डॉक्टर शकील अहमद रमशू साहब उन्होंने भी यहाँ ज्वाइन किया और डिलिब्रेशन और एक पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट बन जाएगा जो गवर्नमेंट को जाएगा कि हम कौन सी इंजीनियरिंग इंटरवेंशन की ज़रूरत है कौन से पॉलिसी मेकर्स की ज़रूरत है कौन से सिविल सिटीजन सिविक सेंस डेवलप करने की ज़रूरत है ताकि हम इस एनवायरनमेंट को बचा सकें और अपने आप को बेसिकली हम बचा सकें दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट